Hi guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel for the first time if you've never seen one of my videos before. Today is a little different than the normal videos I put out, but I just have had it on my heart and on my mind for a little while now, and I've actually been dilly-dallying today because this video is not like the easiest for me to make, but I am just going to talk about my weight loss surgery story today, and I feel like it's supposed to help somebody, so that's all I can do is just go with my gut and make a video that might help someone. So first of all, I just want to say that I think there are a lot of opinions surrounding weight loss surgery, and I realize that I've had opinions in the past myself. I've been against the surgery myself in the past, and so I know where you're coming from if you have opinions about it that are negative or anything to that effect. But I just want to urge you to, especially if you haven't been obese or significantly overweight, to put those opinions maybe aside and hear my story, or maybe look at some other people's stories. You might find that this is not cut and dry as you might think. So on that note, I will just tell you a brief background. I started out as a pretty skinny kid, normal size, but I did have a sweet tooth, and I would sometimes get teased for having the honey bear under my bed in my bedroom. But in our house, I think that one of the ways that we were shown love was through food. We would, be taken out to eat, or my mom would cook for us. She was a really good cook, and she would cook all sorts of food from, like Chinese food, Italian, Greek food. So we were introduced to a lot of different cultural things and, like I said, restaurant experiences. So for me, food, I think, was a way that I showed myself love. I would eat when I was happy or stressed, things like that, especially as I got older. And when I hit 6th grade, I hit puberty, and I was a little bit overweight at that point. And I remember even thinking about my 6th grade picture now, my face was very chubby, and I know that can happen in 6th grade, but I think that's where my overweight journey began. I remember one of the boys at school called me a fat pig, and still to this day I remember who the boy was, and I remember when it was and where we were standing, and it was one of the most hurtful things that I can think of to this day to hear from somebody. I was overweight throughout middle school, and then into high school I was overweight, but I was not huge by any means, but I was the biggest one of my friends, which I think was difficult. They were all quite skinny, and they all would have very athletic bodies, and they would have boyfriends and things like that. I did do cheerleading and I did do softball, but I didn't have the boy thing really going on too much at all. I remember going to their houses sometimes, and they'd be like in another room making out with boys, and I'd be in a room watching TV by myself on the couch. So I don't know. I think maybe that's a good thing that the boy thing came later. But so anyway, for the most part, middle school and high school were boy free, and my confidence level wasn't super great at that point because of, I think, my weight for the most part, and probably some other things too. But then I got to be an adult and struggle with my weight a little bit. I remember doing different diets and, fluctuating, writing down what I ate and things like that. And I got pregnant with my daughter, and I weighed like 220 pounds. And I remember, like, at the beginning of the pregnancy, I weighed that much, and then I was kind of embarrassed about that. I'm 5'8", so I don't know if that puts anything in perspective, but I mean, I was significantly overweight, I would say. And then I put on more weight when I was pregnant with her, and then I did take some off after I gave birth to her. Then I got pregnant with my son a couple of years later, and I got up to like 280 pounds at that point. Months later, I did end up losing some weight, doing like a liquid diet at one point. Then I ended up putting more weight back on, and going through a divorce, I think, didn't help. I decided I wanted to try medical weight loss because it had worked for some people. I know statistically now it does not usually work long term. And so I did do that. I lost about 50 pounds, and then I gained it all back plus more, which was very discouraging. And that was within a year of doing that. And it's not for lack of trying. I think sometimes people have a quick answer, like they just need to get off their butt, they just need to eat less. And it's not like being an overweight, obese person that you don't think of those things and you don't try to do those things. But there's something to be said about having so much to lose, so far to go, and not feeling like you're progressing very much at all. Like if you can imagine, you know, when you're on a really long road trip and you go maybe like 2 hours and you feel like you've been in the car for days, and then you realize how long you have left until you arrive. Like it's kind of like that kind of feeling. With weight loss, you just start falling back into your old habits and you start eating poorly again because you're just discouraged. So my doctor had told me that once you're over 100 pounds overweight, it is statistically very unlikely that you're going to be able to lose that weight. And so that's when I started thinking, okay, I think I want to look into a surgery. I hadn't made a decision yet, but I thought I'm going to look into it. I'm going to see if my insurance will cover it. I'm going to get the facts before I make any judgments. Because in the past, I had thought, God made my body and he made it how he wanted, and why am I going to alter that? Which, you know, I'm not, if you have that opinion, obviously each of us are different people and we are all entitled to whatever opinion we have. I just feel like at some point, it really dawned on me that God uses surgery every single day to help people. Like people get their, you know, shoulders repaired, or they have colon surgery, or they have foot surgery so they can keep walking. You know, eating and food is a really basic part of life, and it can really make or break someone's physical body with how much we eat. So I went and sought this specialist advice, and they thought that I was a good candidate for surgery. And I went through the process, and it's not an easy process. Surgery is not the easy way out. If you are one to tend to believe that, I can tell you right now that's not the case. For one thing, you have to go through a lot beforehand. You have to do fasting the weeks before surgery, or liquid diet. You have to go through a psychological evaluation. You have to meet with dietitians about meal plans and things like that. So, and then I did end up going through the process and getting approval through my insurance company, and I ended up having surgery August 20th, 2012. I'm not going to talk about how much weight I've lost because I just feel like there's some things that I'm going to keep private, but I am very happy with my weight loss. I would like to continue to lose more, but I started out, like I said, close to 300 pounds, and I was a size 24 jeans. If that puts anything in perspective for you. I'll show pictures at the end, but I had surgery, and it was very painful after surgery. And when I was in the hospital, I had the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, which is where they make your stomach smaller, like the size of a banana. And since then, you have to gradually get introduced back into food. You start out in liquids, and then you go through and you get reintroduced to like pureed foods and things like that, and calorie counts, and they guide you on what you're going to eat and things like that. And so I did that, and I went to all my aftercare appointments. I can tell you that having weight loss surgery was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life, if not the best decision I've ever made. I am very thankful for it. People will tell you this if you're looking into the process. It is a tool, only a tool. There's a lot of people that gain weight and all their weight plus more back after surgery because they go in and fall into their old eating habits and try to eat junk and things like that after the fact. And so it's not the easy way out, but it gets you started, and it gives you a significant amount of weight loss so that you can get going on your own and you feel like there's hope and there is light at the end of the tunnel. So I'll just urge you, if you're thinking about weight loss surgery, make an appointment with your doctor. Don't wait any longer. Don't just keep putting it off and putting it off, because life is very short, and I wish I would have made my decision sooner than I did, just so that I could get started on the healthy journey sooner. My doctor told me, even though my triglycerides were good, my blood pressure was good, my cholesterol was good, he told me that as I aged, that those things would start getting bad with my weight. And obesity kills a lot of people every year. So I just urge you, if you're thinking about it at all, do your research, go to different websites and forums and look at what people are going through that have had the surgery. Ask your doctor, go see a specialist if that's recommended for you, and just get the process, get your questions answered. So definitely consult with a doctor. And I just wanted to put that out there for you guys. You have to be mentally happy with yourself. this isn't going to cure that. This isn't going to make you mentally happy with yourself. It's not going to be the answer. When you are significantly overweight, you do feel like in some ways that losing weight would answer all your problems. It's not true. It's absolutely not true. And I think that I definitely probably had some misconceptions about weight loss and my own mental image, but I can tell you it's improved a ton since having surgery. So I don't know who this video is for. I hope that it helps somebody, at least, if not somebody looking into surgery, maybe somebody who's got misconceptions about it. Maybe I can dispel some of that. You know, I'm not a doctor, but I can just tell you, if you cannot rely on other people's judgments for you, you cannot rely on other people's thought processes for you. And that held me up for a long time, thinking about what other people would think too. But at a certain point, you're the one that has to live with yourself. And if that's something that you need to do it for you. I needed to do it for me and my kids, and just to be a better person all around. And that has helped me immensely, along with working on my own self mentally with the process and relying on God as my strength. That's all I have for you today. I will show you my picture so you can see where I started from, and just know that you're not alone. And no matter what you choose, you are a beautiful person inside. And don't ever forget that. Love yourself. Love to spend time with yourself. Come to a place in your life where you can be alone and enjoy yourself. And then you know, like, you are in a good, solid mental space. I hope this video helps. If you enjoyed it, please hit the thumbs up button. Please subscribe. I would love to see your face back for more videos. Subscribe button is below. Thank you so much, and have a great day.